In this final video for lesson 5.4, we're going to be taking all of our properties of equilateral and isosceles triangles and putting them all together to solve problems and find missing measures. So we need to turn to page 142 in your student journal. Page 142. And in 7 and 8, which we're going to do, we're going to find the values of x and y. Now, sometimes in these problems, it's not always clear exactly how to start or what to do. And so it's kind of good to just step back and take a look at the situation, figure out, am I dealing with any special kinds of triangles? And how does this help me set up some relationships to find these missing measures? And so one thing I noticed right away is I've got an equilateral triangle here. All 3 sides are congruent. And I have another triangle over here. And what I notice is these 2 angles in this littler triangle are congruent. That tells me that it's an isosceles triangle. It tells me that the 2 sides opposite the base angles, this side and this side, have to be congruent. And so if this has 1 tick mark, so does that side. And so one thing I know I might need to do later is this side, which is x, has 1 tick mark. And this side, which has y minus 25, has 1 tick mark. So I know these are going to be equal. Okay. My problem is I need to find x or y before I can find the other and use the fact that these are equal. So now I'm kind of looking around, seeing what else do I know. I have y here as one of the angle measures. So maybe I should try to find y first, and maybe I can go from there to find x. So y is one of the base angles in this isosceles triangle. That means, let's see, if I could find this missing angle, then I could find these 2 base angles. So I'm looking at my picture and I'm wondering, do I have any information that might help me? They tell me this is a right angle. That's probably important. So this angle is 90 degrees. I'm not sure what this angle is. I wonder if we can find this smaller angle. And so if I look, this is an angle in an equilateral triangle. In lesson 5.4, we learned that all equilateral triangles, all of their interior angles are 60 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my picture. Well, if the larger angle is 90 and this angle is 60, I can now find this missing angle. I can take the total 90 and subtract 60 to see that this angle here that I wasn't sure what the measure was, I've now found that it's 30 degrees. Well, now you might be like, how does that help me find y? Well, if this is 30 and these 2 are the same, right? If this is y degrees, so is this angle. Don't 3 angles inside a triangle add up to 180? So I know 30 plus y equals 180. I can solve this equation to find y. Right? I can subtract 30 from both sides. And then divide both sides by 2 to get that y is equal to 75. Well, that's helpful now because I can go back and wherever I see a y, I can plug 75 in. So that's going to be helpful now because to find x, I needed to know what was this side length. Well, now that I know that y is 75, I know that the length of this side is 75 minus 25, which is 50. So if this side has a length of 50, so does this side, which tells me x is equal to 50. Let's try another one. All right, and number 8, a few things I notice. I notice that I have an equilateral triangle here. So it may be helpful, it may not be. I know all these angles here are going to be 60 degrees. I'm just going to put that in my picture. I also know that this triangle here is isosceles because there are 2 congruent sides, which tells me that this angle and this angle have to be congruent to each other. And so again, if this is x degrees, so is this one. Well, now I have some information about these 3 angles inside the triangle. So similar to the last one, I know these 3 angles must add up to equal 180. X plus 40 has to be equal to 180. I can solve this to find x. Divide both sides by 2. And I get that x is equal to 70. So I found x. I'm ready to go find y. So it will be helpful, just like the last one. If I see an x, I want to go ahead and plug 70 in for x. So this side length right here, instead of x minus y, I'm going to rewrite it as 70 minus y. So now I have to think, what else do I know? Where do I see some y's? I need to be able to set up some kind of an equation. These 2 sides are equal in this equilateral triangle. So I know 2y plus 10 must be equal to 70 minus y. 2y plus 10 must be equal to 70 minus y. There's another equation I can solve. I need to get all my y's on one side of the equation. I'm going to add a y to cancel. Going to subtract 10 from both sides. And then divide both sides by 3. I get that y is equal to 20.